TXT wouldn't have become popular had it not been for Big Hit, which was built by BTS. The only reason they're achieving things is because they're being carried by the BTS name. So this is a letter coming from one of you guys speculating that the only reason TXT is popular is because of BTS. I think this is a theory that will forever remain a theory. There's just no way to prove or disprove it because you can't undo it. The TXT will never not come from the same company as BTS because you can't undo it. It's just how it is. You know, out of if had it been me, had I been in the position of had I been a member of TXT and I hear people say that, like, oh, the only reason you're popular is because of BTS and blah blah blah, out of defiance, just out of spite, I would have probably said, well, eat your heart out. You can just, you're just jealous. Inggit lang kayo. In Filipino, you're just jealous. You're just envious of what I have because you will never have it. That is just out of spite because it's just useless to argue about it. You cannot undo it. It has advantages and disadvantages. And one of the advantages, of course, is the funds. Because BTS, as you know, made Big Hit into what it is now, eventually HYB. Now they enjoy funds, so that equals to a lot of connections, a lot of budgets, high budgets for their music videos, which of course adds to the attraction of people. It attracts more people. They have more leeway to experiment. They have a lot more talent to work with. The name and the popularity, of course, there's always the recall. That's Big Hit, that's BTS, and you're the younger brother of BTS. Of course, you're gonna get dragged into it. The following and the connection, especially because HYB already has a US presence. Now they have that connection as well. If they want to eventually, they are already moving towards the US market. And I'm sure that it will continue. So they have the benefit again of working with a lot more talents that are in the US. Their doors are open for a lot more opportunities. You know, they get interviews here, they get interviews there. As we know, BTS didn't have that connection. They had to work for it on their own. What are the disadvantages? One is the comparison. They will forever be compared to BTS, and of course, as an artist, you don't want that. You want to be able to stand on your own. It's your music. You just want to stand on your own, and it will always be close to impossible because they will forever be compared to BTS. Second is that they will never be measured for their own skills. They will forever be measured using the measure that people use against BTS because of the name of BTS. And it's so unfair because I will go on the record for this. TXT is the most talented of their generation. They're just, in terms, if you listen to their discography, they're just so prolific. Every song is so different from the other, and each song offers something different. There's a lyrical irony, there's some melody to lyrics irony. It's just so different. The transitions are different, the key progressions, everything is so different. They're just prolific as songwriters and as lyricists. But unfortunately, it's so hard for people to see that because there's always this shadow. There's always the shadow that BTS is casting over them. So people, of course, will also be harsher because to people's eyes, you have that advantage. You will forever be given harder hurdles to overcome because people think that, well, you have an advantage because of BTS, and so I must give you harsher and more difficult hurdles to overcome. And so it's the same thing. If you think about it, it's the same thing as being I don't know, children of the Beatles, right? Many of the Beatles children actually ended up being musicians, and they're good. If you listen to their songs, if you listen to their music, they're good. But because they're always being compared to the Beatles, there's always this thing hanging over their head. People are expecting them to create hits like the Beatles did. Like they're creating catchy tunes like the Beatles did. And if there's one thing that I've learned is that most of their children aren't into pop. So there's that. They're expected to be like BTS. TXT is expected to be like BTS, and they're not. They're just their own selves. I think the better question to ask is, who is TXT as an artist? Who are they as a group? What can they offer? How much of a skill do they have? And how far can they go? And if people concentrate on that and not get bothered by the fact that TXT came from the same agency as BTS, I can guarantee you they are going to see nothing but pure talent.